Hello friend, I've got here this 2008 Toyota Corolla, and when I was doing last maintenance replacing spark plugs, I have found out there is a engine oil leak in the spark plug tube number 4. To stop that engine oil leak, we have to basically replace the valve cover gasket because these seals are part of it. So let me show you how to replace that valve cover gasket on this vehicle. I will start with removing this plastic cover, which is held by two plastic fasteners and two 10mm nuts. I can lift it up. I will try to get rid of the dust and dirt as much as possible. I will remove this hose. We'll remove all 4 coils, which means unclipping the electric connector, removing 10mm bolt, and lifting the coil up. This one is stuck underneath that cable here. Removing these two nuts, holding the harness, which means I can finally lift all the coils. I will keep them in the same order, will not mix match them, there's no reason for that. And I can lift up the harness, as you can see. Removing these 2 middle bolts, which are right here. Unhooking the wire harness on few spots so I can remove the brackets which are mounted on top of it, and basically following just the valve cover gasket and removing all these bolts which are around here, right? So there are 3 behind, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. After I have removed all the bolts and nuts which were around, now it's time to remove the valve cover, but it's always kind of glued to it, so you have to find a safe spot where you can carefully and gently pry it off, and it cannot be on the surfaces where the gasket is. It has to be somewhere outside. And here we go. Once again, use a caution, be patient, you don't want to drop anything in the engine or break anything. So you can see this is the valve cover, and the gasket was still glued to the motor. Here you can see the whole area more in detail. Now I'm removing carefully that gasket. See, these are these spark plug tubes, and that number 4 was leaking. It wasn't really sealing that tube, so the engine oil was getting inside. And here we go, this is the old gasket. Using clean rag, I will very carefully clean all the surfaces that I don't have any oil on them. I keep paying attention that I don't drop anything inside. There are always few spots where you have to use gasket maker to addition of installing that rubber gasket. In this case of this engine, it was right here when the front cover is meeting the block, so you can see the remaining. It was also here. Here I was able to get it off by hand. Here I have to remove carefully and gently the remaining with the scraper. In that area I will use the gasket maker, in my case the one which has maximum engine oil resistance. So I'm going to apply in the same area that gasket maker as we discussed. The next I will go ahead and install that new gasket in the valve cover, and that means I'm ready to carefully install it back on the vehicle. So make sure you don't pinch anything, and nicely, gently you will drop it on that head. That's right. On those two bolts which are right here in the middle, I will replace these rubber gaskets. I will just hand tighten those two, and I will slowly start installing all the bolts and nuts the same way I remove them to putting them in the same place. I first go and tighten all the bolts around by hand only, and only after that I will start using my ratchet. I will go always crisscross. That means I will do one slightly bolt here, and then I go on the other side, and then I will go here on the other side, and then I will do this side, and then I will go back here, and so on, the middles, and slowly the way I will tighten entire valve cover. After I did all the bolts and nuts around, I'm ready to install back the ignition coils. Install this hose back, and of course double or triple check everything. If everything is correctly installed, I will go ahead and put back this cover, and the whole job is done. After doing such a great job, I think it's time for a drink. So please stay tuned, even better subscribe, because very many Toyota maintenance videos are coming very soon. Thank you for your time and have a wonderful day.